Welcome to another exciting episode, as Daniel likes to make fun of me for saying, of Gripping Golf. I'm your host, Billy Daniels, and my co-host over here is Daniel Brumley. How are you, Daniel?
I'm good.
Are you?
I'm good.
You look fantastic.
I try.
It's been a while.
Yes, it's been a long while.
Way too long.
What are we doing with our lives?
Working.
We are.
It's awful.
Yep.
I mean, it's great.
It is good.
Yeah.
It is good.
We got some sponsors we probably need to talk about.
We do.
Podcast is brought to you by Senior View. We're down here at their studios, as you can see behind us if you're watching on YouTube. They are a senior living proprietary lead management system that helps you fill your occupancy needs in senior living. That's Senior View. Also, you want to do the next one?
Yeah, Sycamore Ridge as well,
Yeah.
right? We got a little sponsorship going on there with them. They've been fantastic. We're getting ready for the spring here. Sycamore is going to start popping and greening up.
Yeah.
We've got bent grass fairways out there. No zoysia, if I'm saying it correctly.
You just dreamt of divots.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely.
And we have a guest with us here
We have
today.
Dave Miller back.
Dave Miller,
I'm back.
equipment expert Dave Miller.
Not an expert, but
Totally an expert.
your ratings were too high, so you brought me back.
Oh, that's
Bring me
right.
back
Yeah,
down.
you're right. Too many good reviews out there.
Lots of downloads when Dave gets on.
Download Dave. There's somebody out there that goes by Download Dave.
I'm sure they don't do this, though.
Yeah. You never know.
Yeah.
Yeah, so Senior View, Sycamore Ridge, springtime. It's time to play golf. I mean, we are in a heat wave here in Kansas City compared to what we've been dealing with. It's been 60 degrees like the last 5 days. We played last weekend. Well, I did. Daniel didn't. Dave did, right?
I did not.
You didn't? I thought you made it. No?
We did. It was really busy. John and I have a lot of quit in us, so we just hit
Yeah.
range balls instead.
I hear you there. Yep. We only played 9 holes when I was there. So a lot of quitting us too. But yeah, so talking about springtime, getting things going, I think we'll talk a little bit about the fact of what you can do to prepare for your, not only your body, your equipment. I don't know if are we qualified to talk about each other's bodies or just anybody's
That's
bodies?
another show.
That's a different show.
Yeah.
Dave was talking about that earlier.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We've got interchangeable boards up
Yeah,
here.
exactly. We're gonna go to a break, and we'll be right back with a new sponsor and a new sign. Yeah. So, what can people do? What are you guys all doing to get ready, or what are you looking forward to? Let's start there. What are you looking forward to the 2020 season?
Dave, I'll let you start.
Oh wow, the
man.
guest goes first.
So what's the question? What am I looking forward to, or what am I doing?
What are you looking forward to, and then what are you doing to prepare for what you're looking forward to?
I'm just looking.
Do you want me to
forward
add
actually-
a third element?
Sure, go for it.
What is the lowest score you will shoot in 2020
Oh my gosh!
in 18 holes?
In 18 holes.
18 holes, not 9.
All right.
Yeah. And
Well-
I'm going to open this real quick. Okay. Now I'm ready.
All right. So
Take it away.
What I'm looking forward to is actually golfing.
Oh my gosh.
I literally haven't touched a golf club until I did the range session on Sunday. I hadn't touched a golf club since mid-January. So the muscles weren't working very well.
Yeah.
And as I was telling you earlier, I'm still
Golf
sore today.
atrophy.
So, you hit your 40s and it gets pretty real as far
Whoa.
as needing to keep everything moving or else they stop working. So,
Yeah.
as far as what I've been doing to prepare, literally nothing. But
That's good.
As Sunday proved to me, I need to start doing something.
I like that. I like that you've done nothing. But
Yeah,
that's probably going to be the secret for next year in 2021.
Kind of one of the things, it's probably honestly not a bad thing because, if you just sit in the house and just go stir crazy thinking about golf when you can't play, it doesn't really do anybody any good. So, I took a break from it.
Yeah.
As I was saying, I'm trying to teach myself unsuccessfully how to play guitar.
Yeah.
So
Unsuccessfully.
just
Yeah.
a little
Keep
something
trying.
different to do. But as far as golf now, I mean, most likely what I'm going to do is get out the old chipping net and just start, getting in the habit of having a club in my hand and taking even little swings.
Yeah.
Full swings with the club in the basement, just kind of get things moving, get loose again.
The doctor knockdown.
I could probably do that. I'm probably not going to hit any balls with a Dr. Knockdown.
Yeah, it's
For those that don't know,
really high.
Dr. Knockdown is my beloved 80-degree wedge. You might recall a couple podcasts ago, Mr. Brumley saying you shouldn't ever carry a club higher than 60 degrees. I felt personally attacked.
Yeah.
I'll keep attacking.
It's like your golf game. Just keep attacking.
Yeah,
Be
well,
aggressive.
I will say there is a
No
time
holds
and a
barred.
place, for those very high lofted wedges. You just don't really see them.
It's called in
too
your
often.
backyard when you're
Right.
not playing for real.
That's not
You
true.
never know.
It's not true.
If you have 15 clubs in your bag, it's fine.
Until you've been in one of the pot bunkers at Arcadia Bluffs. It's
Never done that.
right.
Yeah.
It's worth trying.
I'm going to do that.
Yeah, maybe next time I go, I'll have an 80-degree wedge.
There you go.
I only ever had
Let's hope so.
64.
And then
so-
we'll do an episode on that.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It mostly goes up and not out.
Yeah, we can show everybody how to still leave it in the bunker while hitting it up in the air.
Exactly.
But man,
Yeah.
is it good.
Yeah.
So yeah, probably just taking some swings in the basement, you know, especially with the erratic weather. I'm actually going to try to get out and play on Sunday.
Yeah.
So we'll see how that goes. Could be another interesting experience.
I think it'll be great.
But you know, really to prepare myself, I'm just going out with no expectations.
Yeah.
And putting a lot of balls in the old bag just in case everything's going left.
Balls in the bag.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You got to love golf for that.
I
So,
think it's important. The one thing that you said, I think, is that break that you hadn't touched a club since January. I think that I'm curious what you both think about that aspect of, is time away from the game important to you? Maybe not in a general, I guess, think about in the context of in general, is it good for everybody? And then is it good for you, good or bad?
I mean, I think it depends on the state of your game and the state of your mind.
Yeah.
Probably more the state of your mind
Mhm.
than anything else. You know, Jack, for instance, I mean, I believe he would put his clubs down in October, wouldn't put anything up till, February, and he's
Right.
starting to get ready for the Masters. So he would take a pretty long break, you know, spend a lot of family time. But, I mean, you have to be very mentally tough to get back into it.
Yeah.
You know, and unfortunately, I'm not that tough currently mentally. So I've got, you know, for me, as far as what I'm working on, I mean, Billy, you and I have kind of identified some things that I need to do physically.
Right.
And been working on those a little bit when we've had warm days.
Yeah.
You know, I think, you know, any changes you're going to make, you need to start, you know, definitely from, you know, pitching, chipping, that kind of arena. Because there's some small, you know, for me right now, I've never had a lot of lower body movement. It's been my lower body, my hips have always been pretty stagnant.
Is that strategy? Is that?
Well, depends on what we're talking about, but you know, I'm trying to clear a little earlier. You know, we've talked about I'm trying to engage my hips a little bit more from the top, and you know, the sequencing of mine's been a little off. I've always had a little bit more downward movement with my arms, so I'm trying to get to clear the ball
Right.
a little bit more, and I'm working on that in my pitching here recently, hitting a lot of pitch shots.
Talk about, though, what the breakthrough was with clearing. I think you had kind of and if you're not going to say
no
what
two-way miss,
yeah,
right? Yeah, I can pretty much swing as hard as I want at it,
right,
and let it go, and I'm not going to hit it left.
and it was kind of the mindset that you were trying to clear the left hip. And
this is probably something we should talk a little bit more
Right.
about, because you know, we always talk, hey, golf is a game of opposites,
right,
when you're trying to make changes, and sometimes, especially if you're inexperienced, or you know, just beginning, or you know, medium level, or very into golf, playing a lot,
right,
you make mistakes in trying to do the wrong thing, or feel the trying to feel the right thing. And I was trying to clear my left side hard.
Yep.
And
That
I was
might
starting
have
to do
come-
some
that might have come from
reading,
me.
and I'm like, this just isn't working. I
Right.
couldn't feel myself turning at all. So, you know, I like to look at the old school stuff. So I, you know, read about Jack, Weiskopf. I mean, there's old YouTube videos you can see of people. Then obviously, if you're going to talk about hip rotation, you go look at Rory.
Did you put your plaid pants on when you were watching these?
Absolutely.
YouTube
Bell
videos?
bottoms and all.
Yeah.
Here we go.
No belt.
Yeah.
But really,
white belt.
Christmas day vacation. Yeah. But I mean, anyways, trying to feel like basically my right hip is hitting the ball. or getting out ahead of the ball, and I could rotate finally.
Yeah.
I don't know what it was. I just felt hand clutched when I was trying to use my left side, or felt like I was kind of moving towards the target too much. So worked on that a little bit, especially with the chipping, and it feels a lot better. So physically working on that, but more than anything else, and you get to springtime is, and we've talked about it a little bit on the show or the podcast is.
It's a show too.
It's a show too.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it's a show too. What exactly mentally do you have to prepare for? So I think shot selection is the biggest thing when you're trying to grow your game, and you're trying to ease into it when you're starting a new year. Picking the right shot.
So what are you doing to do that? Is that what you're looking forward to, or is that what you're doing?
Yeah, I mean, I think if time allows and it's an evening or something, I can go out there either after work or at a time when it's not too busy. I love the idea of playing 2 or 3 balls and and hitting different clubs off the tees and seeing what's most efficient, because a lot of times we just go out there and we just wail on it. Yeah, and we're not really thinking about what we're doing. The last episode we were talking with Luke and Garmin, and what club actually is the highest percentage to score the best shot. I mean, and a lot of time we're not picking that. Right. And I know I'm not. Like, there's several par 5s on the front 9 of Sycamore, and that front 9 over there, I probably have no business hitting hardly any drivers. Yeah, on the front. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I pictured the original. Original front nine. The current front 9. I mean, there's not a lot of room for error if I want to hit it, and I'm going to get in a lot of stinking trouble if I make just a small error. Yeah. One, you don't have to hit driver. Yeah. No. So there's not many out there, right, Dave? I mean, you've seen me play. You've seen me knock it, 50 yards in the weeds, and just because it's the wrong club and it's the wrong line. Right. So, I've always wanted to be aggressive when I play. I love playing aggressive. I love the mentality. I love trying the shot, but getting myself out of that and knowing that I can be conservatively aggressive is where I know I can score. That's interesting. This is interesting because you're saying you'd go out in the evening, you'd play 2 or 3 balls, but you'd play different shots. Yeah. See, and I would do the exact opposite. I would try to go out with 2 or 3 balls and I try to hit the exact same shot. No, I mean, I think it's important. Just for consistency. I'm trying to muscle memory. I just think that. See, I think that's for the range, though. Right. I've been reading Bob Rotell's book, Golf is a Game of Confidence. It's a great book. If anybody is. I still haven't read it. It's great. He's told me this like 3 times on the podcast. I've read all of his books. Have you? Yeah. Oh my gosh. It's all about. I can't read, guys.
This is like 10 years ago.
Yeah.
I couldn't read 10 years ago, Dave.
It's all about seeing the shot with your eyes. Yeah. When you play. Yeah. And that would probably help my issue more than anything, because I've got that mental block going on. Well, it's. Some people get so lost in what they're doing and their swing and what they're trying to do that they totally forget what their aim point is, or the visualization of the shot, and hitting 2-3 balls off a tee and getting the visualization of maybe a long iron off the tee, or a 3-wood off the tee, or a hybrid off the tee. I mean, that can boost some confidence. That fits my eye a lot better. Yeah. I like the way that looks. I like the way it's landing in the spot. I feel more confident with this off the. Interesting. I think of. I think 16 at Sycamore is a good one that you could either hit long iron off the tee, or you could hit driver and gamble and get down there to where you're 50 yards from the green. And see, I would go out there on 16 and I'd hit driver, trying to find that line that I could hit driver to build the confidence. See, I'm opposite. Then I know when I get there, I know I could just pull out the driver and make that same swing. That's not the sound of my golf swing, by the way. That was a very awkward noise.
That's the sound of my golf swing on Sunday at the range.
That's so great.
Creaking.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, even on that hole, and if anybody has played it, it's got the first level kind of rounds off.
Yeah, describe it.
Yeah. From the fairway. So you've got a tee box that goes over a large creek. You got carry on that is only 180 or something to the edge of the fairway. Maybe a little less than that. Yeah, it might even. There's another plateau, so you kind of get to the fairway. Kind of rolls up and over, and then it goes down into a lower valley.
The fairway,
the old 16.
Oh, I'm talking about the old 16, aren't I?
No, this is a new one, isn't it? Oh,
We're talking about 7.
Dang it.
We're talking about 7. We're
7.
talking about the same thing, but it's 7.
Yeah, 7.
Sorry, folks. They flipped the 9s on us at Sycamore, and we refer to the old ones. So it's
Several
number 7.
years
It's a
ago.
par 5.
Yeah.
So number 7, we'll go back. But anyway, so the fairway's up, down, and then kind of goes to a small valley where there's a landing area.
It's 16. I'm talking about 16.
Yeah.
Okay. What hole? You're talking about 16? The new 16.
The new 16?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh.
The new 16 is...
No, I'm talking about...
Hole number 7.
No, hole number 7.
No. I'm talking about 16.
Wow.
Yeah. With the dog leg slightly left. I mean, it does.
This is where the
grass all the
It's
way
next
around
to
the left
10.
side.
Just stop listening.
Yeah. It's next to 10. Yeah.
Cut.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. That was awesome. I was still confused, though, on when you said... Is this old 16?
I'm like, you're going to be lacing drivers down there when it's like a 3-iron off the tee?
Wow.
okay, I got to think of 7. Oh, yeah. 7. No, I'd still hit driver on 7. No. I'm
you
sorry.
wouldn't.
I'm thinking 6.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, you wouldn't. Yeah.
Yeah, we have totally lost the audience on this podcast. I mean, you guys have. I've still got them. But
Well, I was following you.
yeah.
But you weren't following me.
Well, I mean,
Well, that's pretty
Yeah.
between
atypical.
trips for you to play regularly, they did switch the
They
nine.
did.
You're still
You're right. I'm still in the
we had
past.
ample time to adjust. You still haven't yet.
Oh my god. Yeah,
Which is good.
Yeah, you've played one round since they changed it. Yeah.
You played like 3 holes each time you
Yeah.
go out there.
Oh, man.
No, but okay, so new 16,
New 16.
which would be old 7.
From like 4 years ago now.
Yes. Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Gosh, that hole.
You went the last time when we played 2 weeks ago.
Mm-hmm.
You went left. You hooked left big time.
That was
you
just-
tried to hit 3-wood off of the
No, I
black
didn't.
tees.
No, I didn't.
I thought you hit 3-wood. No, you driver.
I
Okay,
actually,
all right. Whatever.
The smoke pulled one.
Yeah, it was left.
It was
though.
blowing like 30, 40 miles an hour right
That's
into us.
no excuse.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
But that's a hole that to me is a hole that you can hit a 3-iron, you can hit a 3-wood, you can hit a driver. There's 3 distinct
Hell, I
different
think you could hit
lines.
6-iron off the tee and it wouldn't matter.
Yeah. Depends on the wind.
Yes.
Depends on the wind and depends on the turf if it's wet. If that hole is wet, you can't hit. You can hit an iron. You can, but you're going to have a 200-yard or 180-yard shot into the green.
Which is fine because
Yeah.
green holds it pretty well.
It does. That's a
Well,
good
I mean,
point.
it's kind of like flat elevated though. It's kind of
Mhm.
it's a
It depends on where the pin is. If it's back,
If it's
back
back
right wouldn't
right,
be
you don't
bad.
want- no.
Yeah.
back right's a good pin.
If you're left side of the fairway,
Right.
back right isn't that bad. Excuse me, bad of a.
I don't know.
place to
That
be.
hole is attack mode for me. I don't really. That'd be one I'm probably not going to mess around a whole lot with clubs.
Attack mode. What do you mean there?
I'm gonna rip a driver off that
yeah.
tee.
Okay, that's what I thought you meant.
And
Yeah.
even if I
On the
hit
si-
it,
yeah.
100
see,
yards in the
I've
crap,
played-
I'm still gonna do it again.
yeah, exactly. You want to rethink that?
Nope. Give me another
Hit a
one.
driver.
Cheech.
Yeah.
Here we go.
Exactly. Yeah. This is the last ball we got in the bag, Roy.
7-iron.
Yeah.
I played that hole from the wrong hole with every club you can imagine. Hooking
Oh,
it
yeah.
hard left. So
I think the thing,
Go ahead.
the thing about that hole is visually,
Mm-hmm.
for me, doesn't set up very well.
I agree with
I don't see that hole
I-
very good.
I agree because the trees on the right, it's deceptive.
I want to
Those
draw
look
that
so
ball,
much closer.
and that thing
Yeah.
you just want to see it cut.
Yeah, you need to aim
Yeah.
at the trees down by the green and play a cut.
Yeah.
That would be ideal.
But I can't.
I can't cut
I
the
can't
ball.
do that. When I could cut the ball,
Mm-hmm.
because then you inevitably start thinking, well, it's just native grass all the way down the left
Yeah.
side, and if you don't cut it, then
Well, then there's the 3-iron. Bring it out and hit
typically
it down the fairway.
But it's typically a right to left hurting wind. I feel like on that hole.
that hole's dead south into the wind.
Is it?
it's
Yeah.
straight
Oh, it gets pretty straight into the
it.
wind?
Yeah,
Okay,
it's usually
all right.
always blowing right in your face.
Okay, I gotcha.
That's
Yeah.
why it's a little harder from the tips, just because you're adding 40, 50 yards on it.
Yeah, it's a beast. Well, it's not a beast, but it's a hard shot.
Yeah.
It definitely requires a driver in the wind.
Mm-hmm.
So I was always told, as far as club strategy, because you guys say you go out and hit 2 or 3 balls off the
Yeah.
tee. I don't do that because I'm worried I'd probably lose 2 out of the 3.
Yeah,
So,
exactly.
and golf balls aren't cheap these days.
Not anymore.
So, I'll just go out and hit
You can go
one,
find
but-
some of mine at Sycamore. and
There you
they're
go.
out
Yeah.
there.
Exactly.
They say Dano on it.
Exactly.
They do. If you find a ball that says Dano, it's mine.
Yeah.
You're going to be like, how did this get here?
Yeah, what the?
Yeah.
This
I
is
didn't think
really
he played.
long, but really far out there
Yeah.
to the left or right.
Yeah, and it's supposed to be the one ball he played. played when he played his one round in the last 4 years.
Well, he lost 9.
Yeah.
I always lose them in places nobody would expect to find a ball, so
Right.
it's good. But
Right.
I was always told, take the club that's going to put you in the biggest part of the fairway, period. So, you know, on that hole.
Boy, my strokes gained approach would be really bad.
Yeah, that's it. Well, but I agree with that. I think that's a very old methodology to approach to the game, because it's statistically proven now that the closer you get to the hole, the more likely you are to make birdie.
Sure.
And that sounds simple. But hitting driver off every tee box, regardless of the hole, you actually have a higher probability of making a birdie.
Right, just depending on how well you hit your driver.
Right.
Of course.
Yes.
Because as the clubs get smaller, that cone shrinks, right?
Yeah,
So,
exactly.
You know, and I think a prime example of that is hole 18 out in Sycamore. You know, you can play that at
new
Wait,
18.
9 or 18?
the current,
New
the current,
par 5. The par
current
5.
18.
Okay.
With the
Daniel's now on the same page as us.
I'm good now.
Yeah.
I'm good.
This is a podcast.
I'm good.
Daniel.
Now, before the renovations, there was really just 2 ways to play that hole.
Oh, yeah. You're going to talk about the tree.
Well, the tree was
Yeah.
It was
the tree was really something else, but
there's a lot of space left now.
Yeah, there's a huge amount of space left, so it opens up more options. But before, it was either hit a 6-iron off the tee or really take your chances with the driver and see if you can clear the edge.
I love that hole.
Now
I still love it now.
Yeah, you can still hit that 6-iron off the tee, and you know what? You hit another 6-iron and you're within scoring range.
Yeah, you're 150 or under 150. Yeah.
Or you can hit a 3-wood and you're sitting 250 out, and then you have a bunch of options there.
Right.
Or you can be like this guy to my left and just let the
Bomb
big
it.
dog eat.
Yeah.
And just fire away and have
150 in.
Yeah, 150 in for your second shot. So, you know, if you got that shot, the hole.
Or you
opens
can get
up,
a
you
boat
absolutely
and just
can do
go
it.
out on the pond and try to find it after you hit
Believe
that
me,
shot.
I put a lot of balls out there even from 100 yards.
I think it's
the lakes.
I think I've struggled with my line though off the tee on that hole.
Yeah,
because
visually it's weird.
Yeah.
Because I have the same problem too. Dave's always telling me like, "Hey, that's not far enough right."
Yes,
and I'm just
that's
like,
what I was just gonna say.
I don't feel comfortable.
No, you
like-
almost have to aim at where the lake comes in, and then there's that peninsula of fairway out there. You almost aim at the corner of that, and it looks like you're just gonna go into oblivion.
You aim at the second grove of trees or to the right of that.
I go to the right of that. You're talking about the gray irrigation box.
Yep.
Yeah, I
gotta
agree
aim
with
right at
that.
that.
I have to go to the right of that because because I draw the ball, I can bring it back to the fairway, and then with the draw.
See, they got rid of that tree, and I used to aim at the tree.
Yeah. But a
I never
fade
hit
on
it
that.
far.
The big tree?
The big tree to the right
Yeah.
on the other side, that was the
I aim at
edge of
the-
that was my aim point.
I actually
And
aim
then
at the
a little
smaller
drawback.
tree that's there now.
Oh, you do?
That's my line, is right at that tree with a draw. And just hope I hit it long enough. I mean, it's a 265 probably carry or more.
Yeah, but I think, this is great to talk
Mm-hmm.
about, though, because I don't think a lot of people really, truly see their line and visualize what their shot's going to do.
100%.
like
Yeah,
that.
I totally agree.
So just even talking about, if there's this tree out in the distance, I want to hit it at that and either draw it or cut it, depending on how you're going to hit it.
Right.
That's your approach.
Well, and
you
I
need
think
to
aim
take
small,
to-
miss small is huge.
Right.
Oh, yeah.
And I
Harvey
don't think a lot of people do that.
Right.
Yeah. I mean, for me, I'll see that line, and then, of course,
Mm-hmm.
I'll try to find something 6 inches in front of where I tee it up.
Yeah,
But that doesn't necessarily mean I'm lining myself up properly.
No, yeah.
But-
Well, that's where a second set of eyes. That's what Daniel and I do a ton of stuff of just what's going on. Do I look? Are my shoulders parallel to my hips and my knees and my feet? Because the feeling that your body is doing versus what's in your head is crazy.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I mean, going back to your original question to me, as far as things to do to get ready, like go to Home Depot, buy those driveway markers.
Yeah.
Go to the range.
Yes,
check your
please,
alignment.
everybody, don't go buy the $50 sticks at the golf shop. You
Yeah.
can get them at Home Depot.
Right.
They
Yeah.
are for marking your driveway off for snow, and
Yeah.
they're literally $2.50 or something like that.
Yeah.
but people did. I
a
think
bunch of
Sycamore
those.
carried those at one time, didn't they?
Yeah.
Well, if they're at Sycamore, please buy them.
Yeah.
But if you'd like to go buy some cheaper ones, get them
Right.
at Home
Yeah.
Depot.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They will scratch your clubs, though, so make sure that little rubber cap stays on them.
Yeah.
But,
Yeah.
get a bunch of those. Work on your alignment.
Yeah.
I know over time I consistently get shut, and then I can't turn. I can't do what Daniel's talking about, getting his right hip through to hit
Right.
the ball.
Yeah,
Because
I inch
I'm
that
effectively
way
closing
too.
my body off.
Yeah. You're compensating.
Yeah, and so then, you know, my shots look horrible. Either I'm blocking them out to the right, or, you know, I'm swinging around myself trying to get through it.
Pulling it.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, you know, work on your alignment, the little things like that. And then once you know your alignment's good, once you can figure out that line you want to take on any given hole,
Right.
you know, the rest hopefully should
Falls
just
into place.
Yeah, it should just happen. So
What about you, Bill?
You know, first off, don't call me Bill.
You know, my dad's name's Billy.
It is?
It is.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Billy Brumley.
Yep.
That's a freaking great name.
It is a great name.
Oh my gosh. That's to be famous. Is he famous?
Not yet.
Wow. I didn't know your dad's name. Is he a William or is he a true Billy?
No, he's a true Billy.
Wow. You're like the third person I've met. I'm a William.
You're a William.
Billy, yeah. Mm-hmm.
My brother is Will.
No way.
Yep.
This is crazy.
Great
but
podcast.
he's a Will. But he's a Will. He's not a William.
He's a William.
Oh, he is.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
So you're like everything all in one, buddy.
Yeah. Guess what my middle name is?
Ted?
No. Robert.
Oh, damn.
What's short for Robert?
Bob.
Mm-hmm.
You're Billy Bob.
And
It took a second, but I got there.
Yeah.
We're gonna have to cut some of this.
And it gets better. I'm a junior. So I'm Billy Bob Jr. My dad is Billy Bob Sr. Is that not great? I love it. I absolutely love my name.
What are you doing to improve your golf?
Okay, so what am I looking forward to? You know, honestly, I've said this too many times. It was in the goals episode that we talked about. I've said this too many times. I'm so freaking ready to get rid of this mental block that I've had. And I've made so much good progress last year. I think
You don't have that anymore.
No, it's pretty much gone, but it's still
It's gone.
it's the physical aspect of it is gone, but it's still up there in the head. And so the last 2 rounds I've played, it was so much better than I've ever done. And it's just I'm overcoming it. And it's somewhat of this podcast and it's just talking about golf more. So I think what I'm excited about is to be able to not think about that anymore and just play golf, because that's been a struggle for way too long. So that's what I'm most excited about, and just playing more. I think playing more and just getting out. I think, you know, with Dave and joining the league, and I guess this will be my 3rd year in the league, but I think I have a bigger group of friends to play with out at Sycamore than I've ever had. And it'll be easier to get a game opposed to going out there and playing by myself in the evening.
Yeah.
Nothing wrong with that. I'm not, but you don't play good golf when you're just out there playing. You're not actually playing the game. You're just going out there and playing and hitting shots on holes. You're not really keeping score. I'm saying when you play by yourself, if you're not following me, I got really excited there for a second. But when you play with friends, you have
Deep
a group
breaths.
yeah. Yeah. When you actually have tee times, when you actually have a group of people that you're playing with, a foursome or whatnot, I look at that as you're playing golf and you're out there actually challenging yourself to play the game versus just going out and practicing. It's a different mindset. So, because I don't know, it's not like when I play with you all, I get in there and I'm like, I have to beat every one of you, but that is what I'm thinking about the entire time.
I mean, I think what I'm excited about too is not practicing on the course anymore.
Yeah. Or I hear what you're saying.
Because I think you have to be really careful with that. And I've been really bad about that for probably years now.
I think there's a time and a place for it, though.
Yeah, but you have to be very, very diligent about and selective about when you're going to do it and when you're not going to do it. Because it can sometimes, for me, maybe I just speak to me, but sometimes I find myself getting into practice mode when I'm out there. I'm going to try this.
Well, and that's
I'm
what
going to do this. Or, you know,
and
it shouldn't be that. It should be, okay, this is the point I'm looking to hit the ball. You know, we're just talking about seeing the line, seeing your shot. Where are you wanting to hit the ball? Quit thinking about everything else.
Right.
Play it. Play golf.
Yeah, play around.
I think part of that has to do with the people that you golf with, because obviously, and you know, it's not a knock on any of my friends or anything like that, but when we go out, we're just going out to have a good time. You know.
Yeah.
It's not anything real serious, you know. And I think sometimes if, like, say for instance, one of you two is joining us, right, and you want to go out there and you're really focused on hitting a number,
Mm-hmm.
right? And I'll give an example how it worked for me. But if you're not focused on hitting a number, or if you're focused on hitting a number and the rest of us aren't, it's harder for you guys to probably stay locked in. And then you kind of fall into that practice mode. Like, you know what?
Yeah.
On this hole, I would never hit a driver, but here we go.
But I think that's something to. I agree with you. I'm not. I think that is something though that to the golfer that could actually be a situation that could help them become a stronger golfer is to have to be in those situations because in
I think you should be able to turn it off and turn it on. I think that's what makes it fun too. Is you can't just be totally robotic all the time.
No.
Like you've got to enjoy
You're
it,
not
but
fun.
you've got to be able to flip the switch and hit the shot that you need to hit.
Yeah.
Because I mean, when I was playing tournament play, I still like to have fun, right? I mean, you're still playing, to enjoy the game as much as.
Would you talk with your playing partners?
Depends on who they were.
Yeah.
But I mean, but that's just who I am.
Yeah.
And if not, I mean, if we're in a tight match, then so be it. You know, I mean, I love the competitive side of it the most.
Yeah.
Like
I agree.
I mean, I enjoy that, but the in between stuff is good too. It's just I think, and I need to get better at this, but knowing how to turn that on and off in between,
right?
Because I think some people are great at it, some people are just
And I was actually going to make the point, that the best thing to probably practice during one of these weekend rounds is the mental aspect. Instead of the shots. So I mean, work on your shots on the range, and then just like I said, work on turning it on or off. I mean, you were there for that round. Do you remember? I absolutely had an atrocious front nine. And
then you turn it around.
And then I got to the 10th tee, and I said, you know what, guys? I'm going to break 80 today.
Yeah.
There's the only way I could do it was shoot even on the back, even or better.
Yeah.
And then once I put myself in that frame of mind, it was like, holy crap, I can do this.
Yeah.
So it was just changing that mentality. So,
well, go back to your best rounds that you've ever played and what your demeanor was like and how you went about your round. Best round you ever played?
Whoa. Best round I ever played would have been the Illinois Open qualifier. And I had a caddy. And the whole goal we met ahead of time, and I was just really good at hitting shots from about 108 yards. I just knew that I could get within 10 feet. And that's all he did was quote me yardages to that 108 yards, depending on if it was a driver off the tee, a 3-wood off the tee, or a 3-iron off the tee, par fives. What was I laying up to? 108 yards. That's all. That whole, and that's, I don't know. It was just, it felt like I was, it honestly felt like I wasn't even there. Like not robotic, but just to the point where I just was in cruise control almost. It just was repetition. And it was probably what I'm saying is I was in the same mindset the entire round versus being up and down. Is it just was steady, calm.
What'd you shoot?
72. So, okay, I tell you, it's not the best round I've ever shot, but that was the best I think I've ever played.
I think it's interesting that you say you don't. Do you recall a lot of it, or do you think?
I recall the first 6 holes. I don't remember. I couldn't tell you what I did after 7. I hit a tree on 6, and then I don't really remember anything after that.
I only recall the last hole in my best round.
Yeah,
that's it. I don't remember anything else.
Where was your best round at?
It was at Eagle Bend when I was 16. So, but all I remember, I think the only reason I remember 18 was because I think I hit like a 3-wood off the tee, and then I hit in the back bunker, and at that time it was going to break the course record, and I was like, oh crap, I lost it, and then I holed out the bunker shot, and I tied it.
Wow.
And then, but that's the only thing I remember.
That's funny.
And I remember I had 2 bogeys, but I don't remember how I got there.
So I feel like I've had a similar experience. State championship my senior year was at Prairie Dunes.
Yep.
And the only thing I can remember, and we won state championship, I birdied the last hole, 18.
Yeah.
I couldn't tell. I can remember all the holes out there.
Yeah.
I don't remember what I did.
So I think that's interesting because we're talking about in the moment and what you do in the in-between. And I'm like, what the hell did I do that day? Yeah. And I'm like, I think I don't think I was like, hey man, how you doing? And
right.
Having a good, I was having a great time, but I don't think I think I was in my own head the whole way.
Yeah. That's crazy.
Just in the zone.
Dave?
I don't remember.
You don't?
Yeah. I mean,
your best round or
they're all the same for me. When I was really seriously golfing, who knows? I'm sure at one point I got extremely pissed off and threw something, but
I've never seen you do that.
You haven't?
I'm joking. I think I have seen you do that.
I'm trying to think if I have around you.
I don't know.
I've chilled out quite a bit since those days,
have
but
you? What would you attribute that to?
Just not caring as much, I guess.
That makes sense.
Turning that off.
That's one thing you said I need to stop doing so much.
Yeah. I mean, I started enjoying the game a lot more once I quit caring, and I think probably like the ultimate moment for me was played the club championship and shot what I affectionately call 101 the Fox. Finished dead last.
The Fox.
And I was like, you know what? All I could do about it is laugh. And
You're right.
So, at that point, I'm like, who cares?
That was not last year.
It was not last year. Yeah, last year was a whole different story.
Yeah.
So
you played well last year.
Yeah. So, I think the best I've ever shot in a round of golf is a 74. I've never hit par. And, I just either I'm going out there and having a good time and goofing around,
right?
Or, I'm just sitting in the cart mad about something. So, I don't really remember what kind of day I was having or anything like that. They all run together for me. It's a round of golf is a round of golf. So,
right. I'm trying to find a text message that my best friend who lives in Colorado Springs sent me about his best round or how he remembers his best rounds. So I'm going to read this. And I don't know, this will be interesting because, well, hold on. You guys talk for a second. Oh, nope, this is it. This is it. I just want to make sure I had the right string of text messages before I read something. Yeah, first off, he's getting me like critique about the podcast. And so he goes, one of my fond memories as a junior golfer on my home course was that I always got a Barks root beer on the 6th hole and a hot dog. After nine, after a late afternoon round. That quality of the hot dog is one of the factors I use to rate golf experiences. I will go back to a mediocre course if they have a good hot dog. Is that not the best thing?
That's fantastic.
I know. And the funny thing, I read that text and I go, yep, that's accurate.
Yeah, they got a good hot dog.
They got a good hot dog there.
Yeah.
Yeah. The course is terrible. But
man,
they got a good hot dog.
Got a good bratwurst.
That's awesome. Yeah. So let's see. What equipment we got to... What?
Dr. Knockdown.
Doctor, yeah. He's bitter about that. Dave is bitter about that.
He likes his lofty wedges, doesn't he?
They're fun.
Yeah. Hit it high, let it fly.
They're pointless.
Yeah.
No, they're not. It goes a good 60 yards on a really hard swing. You can belly it and make it go 120. It's got no bounce, so you can take.
Oh my God! You haven't seen this thing, have you?
No, I've hit it.
Oh, you did. Oh, that's right. That's right.
Yeah.
Well, we hit it at the range.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He
that was great.
A bunker, a couple months ago too.
Oh my gosh, this is good stuff.
It's fantastic. I've actually hit it backwards off a hill like Phil Mickelson.
Oh my!
It's amazing.
You are the best golfer I've ever met.
I wouldn't go that way. Dumbest, maybe.
No, not at all. But we've been talking about spring, how we've gotten ourselves ready. But what are some things that you all do to get your equipment ready? I know Dave's an equipment aficionado, so I think he's got some big tips, tricks here, just insights in general on that.
Yeah.
So
right
what
now,
do you recommend?
Right now is the perfect time to change your grips if you haven't. Get them ready for the season.
Do you I have an odd question. Do you recommend going somewhere or just doing it yourself? For the not maybe let's say for the person who's never done it before, is it something they can learn and save money? Absolutely. Or is it something just go to local golfsmith or the golf shop? Go to Sycamore Ridge if you live in Kansas City.
Depending on the grips that you get, I mean, honestly, the blow-on grips super easy.
Mm-hmm.
just the traditional tape, super easy. I mean, it's literally the easiest club repair thing that anybody can learn. Saves money, you know. You can use the supplies endlessly. The solvent that you use, just keep reusing it, catch it in something. You know, before I got myself a fancy little regripping jig, I just used to catch it in a paint tray.
Yeah, and then pour it back in the bottle.
Yeah, exactly. So it's super easy. The tape is cheap. I don't know how much Golfsmith is like. Is it $2 a grip to install or something like that? It's
usually labor is anywhere from $2 to $5.
Yeah, I mean, so you're saving yourself, you know, $20. You can buy a bunch of hot dogs. If they taste great at the golf course, right?
Mediocre golf course, great hot dog.
Probably two.
Two
hot dogs?
Oh, yeah.
$20.
Yeah,
Couple
$20.
hot dogs.
Yeah, depends on where you're at.
Depends on the quality.
Yeah.
Couple hot dogs, couple beers.
It's a high-quality hot dog, bad golf course. It's going to be an expensive hot dog.
Just make sure you add a lot of condiments, you know, get your money's worth out of it.
I was just at snowboarding, and I really did have a really good hot dog on the slopes. It was great. I really mean I had a hot dog in a bun. It was grilled. I'm not meaning anything
Don't want
else.
a cold wiener.
Yeah, exactly.
So here's the thing about hot dogs, right?
I love it.
So, I mean, a hot dog is a hot dog, right?
Right.
Does the quality of the hot dog improve just because you're just so hungry at a certain point? Like you just have to eat something. So
yes,
it doesn't even matter.
Hungriness definitely plays a part in this.
but there is a
word.
point that it's so bad that regardless of how hungry you are, you still won't eat it. There is
True.
a point.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's
Okay,
different
that's fair.
for every person.
Sure.
It's different for every person and how hungry you are.
So for the next podcast, you're going to do like a brand of hot dogs rankings, like Hebrew National on Oscar Mayer.
Hebrew National.
Ballpark.
It's pretty good.
Yeah.
All beef hot
All
dogs?
beef, of
Yeah,
course.
all beef
Kosher
all
beef.
the time. Yeah.
All right. So
Yeah. So if you're going to the store,
if you're going to the store,
yeah.
get yourself some grips.
You're right. No, I was going with hot dogs. Which
Well,
hot
that
dogs?
too.
You got a choice between Oscar Mayer. I don't even know if they make hot dogs. I'm just talking.
They
right
do, of course.
And Hebrew National. What are you doing?
So
Pop quiz hot shot. What are you doing?
for me, I generally don't eat hot dogs. You wouldn't know
Well, this
it
is
by looking at
disappointing.
your-
Yeah.
If you look at my body, you
You're a
wouldn't know that.
bratwurst guy, aren't you?
Yeah,
Do you put mustard on your brat?
I do not. I don't
Good.
like
Okay,
mustard.
you just went up in my world.
Okay, yeah,
Okay,
I can't stand mustard as a condiment.
Thank you, Daniel. What are you gonna say? Pop quiz. Don't say mustard.
It's mustard. Love
And
mustard.
that's fine. Let the man have his mustard.
Yeah. No, that's okay. I'm not a mustard guy.
That's all right.
Except in
I'm not
Chicago.
either.
I will put mustard on a hot dog if I'm eating a Chicago style hot dog.
I'm not going to eat a hot dog in Chicago just because I don't want to be, subject to the
Scrutiny.
vulgar scrutiny that I'll be getting from the Chicagoans.
And the Detroit hat you're wearing.
Right.
Yeah.
That too. Yeah. Yeah. So, I mean, but
Welcome to the podcast, Daniel.
Here's the other factor. Does the hot dog have cheese in it?
Ooh. Oh. Whoa, that was close. We're going to need some. Oh, we're good.
Really got excited when he said
I
cheese.
did cheese in the hot dog.
The cheesy bratwursts are fantastic.
They are.
Yeah.
Where do you get yours?
I've just been getting my stuff at Costco lately.
Oh, I go to Hy-Vee, get the specialty ones.
Yeah, those
Yeah.
are good.
Oh, yeah, the signature ones. Where are you going? You're just leaving? Yeah. Do you have to go to the bathroom? All right, he's taking a bathroom break. Yeah. This is the best conversation that we've had on this podcast.
Speaking of hot dogs, the hot dogs
Right.
at Sycamore Ridge are fantastic.
They are. They are really good.
Definitely.
The
stop in
burgers are
Bunker
good too.
Bar and Grill.
Yeah, I like the
Love their
chicken fingers and
burgers.
fries. They're good too.
Yeah.
Everything out there is really good. They're
I agree.
I don't know if they're changing their menu, but have you been in there?
I haven't.
They put like new chalkboards up that'll have the
Really?
menu on them.
Ooh.
Yeah, it looks really good. So
See, I've been trying for years, and I haven't really talked to anybody. I say I've been trying for years. I
you're
tried
talking to
years
people
ago.
right now, by the way.
I tried years ago.
Mm-hmm.
When we went on a golf trip down in Alabama on
Mm-hmm.
the Robert Trent Jones Golf Trail, which I highly recommend, by
Mm-hmm.
the way, especially if you don't mind driving.
I like drive.
We went into one of the clubhouses, and I can't remember which course it was, and ordered what they called a chicken parmesan sandwich. And what it was chicken tenders with melted cheese and marinara sauce on it. And I swear to you, It was one of the best chicken sandwiches I've ever eaten. And I would
so
love to see something like that on the menu at Sycamore
At Sycamore Ridge.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, we'll tag Ben in this episode and listen about the 45-minute mark, Ben.
That's my suggestion, Ben. A chicken Parmesan sandwich. I will eat that every time.
What kind of cheese was it?
I'm a
Parmesan or
probably mozzarella.
Mozzarella. That's what I meant.
Yeah,
I don't know.
or provolone. It was probably provolone. I'm guessing it was provolone.
How was it? Were the chicken tenders thick or
Ish?
thickish?
Yeah. You gotta have something that's gonna hold the sauce.
Yeah. Was it on a hoagie? I'm just trying to, or like a hot dog bun.
It was not a hot dog bun.
It was like a hamburger bun.
Yeah, probably closer to that.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Daniel's coming back, so yeah, we can move on from the chicken sandwich discussion. Yeah. Yeah, it's so great. Okay, so re-gripping your clubs. Let's actually,
Re-grip the clubs.
Yeah.
Or if you recently re-gripped, give them a good scrub.
Yeah.
Really hot, soapy water.
Okay.
Some people will say alcohol, but depending on what your grips are made out of, it might actually ruin your grips.
I know. After I said that, I was thinking about that. Depends.
Yeah.
Like a wind grip, you probably
wind
wouldn't
grip
do
would
that.
probably disintegrate.
Yeah.
With alcohol, but hot soapy water would be good for those grips.
And and I think that's good. Get all the oil that's from your hands off there, because that's what's deteriorating the whatever your grips are made out of. If it's rubber, if it's leather.
Touch.
Yeah, exactly.
You know,
Everyone loves a good touch every now and then.
It's very important.
The
to have
clubs.
good,
What do you
clean-
got? The
clean
clubs
grips.
like a touch every now.
Yeah.
What do you think, Daniel?
I don't know.
he's about to leave again.
Yeah,
I'm never getting asked back here.
Yeah, I was like, no, this is great. This is gonna be the norm.
I've loosened
Yeah.
up since the last one, apparently.
Yeah.
I promise I haven't been drinking.
No, I have.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But the other thing I would recommend getting your loft and lies checked as
Gotcha.
well.
Yeah, and you got to be careful with that, right?
Right.
Cast,
so?
cast
Elaborate.
clubs.
Oh yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
you can crack them, break them pretty quickly if you don't know what you're doing. You're not going to get a lot of adjustment out of those. You might get 1 to 2 degrees if you're lucky, one way or the other. But the forge clubs, they're malleable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, most people
That's
don't
a good
have a
word.
loft and lie machine in their house.
No.
If you
Right.
take it to a reputable retail place.
Yeah, be
and
careful
say,
where you take those.
Yeah.
Do the reputable dealers, do they know the specs that your club should be at?
No.
I mean, if
No?
they know what they're doing.
Right.
If they know what they're doing.
Right.
Right.
There's a lot of people that don't.
So someone that does it at home, they probably know their specs, or they can find them, right?
You can find them
I
online
use the
anywhere.
Google
Yeah,
machine,
yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But some of the specs are rated in a way like one I used to use was actually set up for older lies and lofts. So it would have a presetting on there.
Oh, like 9-iron.
Well, just 48,
Right.
50.
Right.
Like I saw one that was a 50, and you would have to tweak it certain ways to be able to get it set up to where you needed
Could
it
be
to be.
2 degrees strong or something.
Yeah, because the lies and
Mhm.
lofts over the years have changed so much, like we've
Mhm.
talked about in the past. So you just got to find someone that knows what they're doing. Talk to them.
I've never done it. I've never.
I did it all the time. We
Really?
had one. Yeah.
At home, or it's when
Well,
you're-
I worked at Golf USA when I was a kid,
Mhm.
basically 15, 16, all the way through. I was, in college. And we did a lot of it at the country club where I worked. We did a lot of club repair. But I mean, you just got to know what you're working with.
Right.
What the
right.
club is, what it's made out of, what the lies and
Mhm.
lofts are specifically for that set, what you're adjusting someone to. Because a lot of people will go in, they'll get fit.
Right.
They'll get fit with a club that they don't even use.
Mm-hmm.
And then they're adding loft or lie to the clubs that they're currently using, but were fitted on something that they
Different.
aren't.
Right.
And you could be talking about 3 degrees or
Mhm.
4 in a lot of instances. And for some people, that doesn't matter.
Right.
For several people, it's really going to matter.
Mm-hmm.
And that's no bueno. I mean,
Yeah.
that's not good. So, and I've seen
Thank
people
you for
fit on
clarifying
that. Yeah,
that no bueno meant not good.
that's all I got.
Yeah.
That, and we now know what are good hot dogs, bad hot dogs.
Don't rag on the conversation.
Yeah.
I'm not ragging.
No, I know. It's
Hot dogs are a very
I like
vital
milkshakes,
part
hot dogs,
of
hamburgers,
golf.
cheeseburgers.
Ooh.
Ooh, they should serve milkshakes out
Get
there.
I know,
nothing and like
yeah.
it.
That'd be amazing.
You'll
It'd melt
get
pretty
nothing
quick.
and like
it
it.
would.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like the McFlurry machine, it's always down.
If you had a choice between a bratwurst and a Texas honey bun. What are you picking at the turn?
What time of day is it?
Ooh, that's a good question. We've teed off at 8 a.m.
I'm going for the Texas honey bun.
Okay, interesting.
I'm going brat.
Really?
Oh yeah.
I don't know about the early morning brat.
It's almost like a sausage.
That's
fair.
That is a really good statement, actually.
That's
yeah.
fair.
I'm glad I was able to contribute.
Yeah, thank you. Welcome. Yeah. So I think I want to get to
what is this episode gonna read below the heading?
What's the title of it gonna be?
Yeah, it's gonna be hot dogs.
I don't.
Wieners.
You just you nailed it.
Oh my.
Yeah, it's yeah. And bears. Oh
Bear
gosh.
claws? I like
Yeah.
bear claws.
Bear claws. Yeah, I used to get them lodged right here.
We should have talked about this, club food, golf course food.
No, I think it's another episode.
It is.
Right? Yeah.
Another one?
No, yeah, I think that we specifically have an episode about types of food. And we'll get my buddy from Colorado Springs on. He'll call in. We'll have our first call-in guest. Yeah,
I'll be back and we'll bring Pete.
I'm pretty sure if we have my buddy on in Colorado Springs, we will probably not talk. It'll just be us listening to him for like
laughing.
an hour. Yeah, laughing is probably what it is.
Because of the gummies he's
Yeah.
probably going to bring back.
No doubt.
No, I'm
that
just
is
kidding.
no doubt. So I think we do probably, because I have a feeling this is going to go for a while on the next subject. I'm afraid of the rant that Daniel's about to go on. But I don't even know, how long ago was it? 6 or like 4 weeks ago, maybe?
Yeah, it was 4 weeks ago.
Yeah, the USGA and the RNA released the distance. I called it the distance report. I don't know if it's really what it's truly called, but that's
Whatever
what
it
it was
was.
about. And it's basically
The garbage report.
The garbage. Yeah, we are. Well, he's already started. But tell everybody what it is, because I think you have a better understanding of what it is.
I mean,
than I
put
do.
it in a nutshell. They're basically coming out and saying they need to regulate equipment, specifically relating to
Shocking.
distance.
Right.
Right.
Mhm.
And we were looking at, we follow My Golf Spy, right?
Shout out to those guys.
And some of the graphs they put together on distance reports for the various different tours.
Right.
And it's mind-boggling to me that this conversation is even happening, because you look at
mind-boggling in the fact that the
USGA is even
information-
considering this
based on the data in the report.
based off the data.
Okay, got it. Mm-hmm.
Because you're looking at 06 when coefficient of restitution was basically say, hey, the limit's 0.83. It's not going any further than this.
Mm-hmm.
You got MOI restrictions on clubs. You basically got this all capped out right at 2006. Okay. Prior to that point in time, it really had an upward trend. But after that, we're talking about 10 yards difference in the average drive for the PGA Tour player from 06 to now.
Mm-hmm. Probably 2000. It was probably 2008. I don't think it. Well, it might.
No,
have
it was
been
06. It was
No. I mean, till like it's not 2020 that the data was in. It was
maybe
probably,
18.
Yeah.
Okay, so maybe 18, 19.
Mm-hmm.
I guarantee you we haven't gained that much more over the top of it.
10 yards in 12 years.
Yeah.
Is what you're saying.
So my argument to it is that the people playing the game are better. They're better athletes. They're better trained.
Yeah. I would agree with that.
There's more of them, which is going to cause the average drive to go up. The field is better, period.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So how are you going to tell me that you need to regulate distance now instead of
maybe
10 years ago?
Right.
When you've already destroyed the golf courses out there
Tiger-proof
that
them.
cannot recover from it.
Right. Made them so long.
Yeah. I mean, and a lot of them have already implemented changes, so many of them are okay. But if you really want to do that, why didn't you go back in the past and take a look at it? You tell me you didn't have enough data. I think that's bull.
Right.
I mean, you're seeing it happen. But I'm
is
talking about prior,
There
2000 to 06. I'm not talking 06
some level.
after.
There is some level of the technology has allowed the data to be available. I can see what they mean that they couldn't readily available data. It's so easy with Shot Tracer or whatever.
Yeah, but a lot of that stuff was manually tracked.
Right, but manually
long
tracked.
time.
Yeah, but think about in the context of when Excel didn't exist. There was literally a person at a company that did all the calculations on paper. And if they wanted to change one little part of that spreadsheet, they had to start completely over. It wasn't change one little number and everything changed on your computer.
Yeah.
So,
I'm going to pull up this chart.
You're pulling it up. Oh, wow. So Dave and I will go back. So hot dogs. No, I'm hearing you. I just think
I've got this readily on my phone because I'm that much of a geek.
Yeah.
Okay.
Daniel's making a great point. The equipment they've already maxed out.
No, yeah, I'm not disagreeing with I was just saying that I think that the report is probably coming out because they're able to have data tracked easier than they were 20 years ago.
Sure, but I think the report coming out now is just really kind of like a knee-jerk reaction to people who follow golf saying it's not as fun to watch when guys are hitting at 360 yards, which to me makes it amazing to watch.
I think it's better.
Right.
I think all the stats that are on the screen, distance, apex, club head speed, ball speed, all those things are amazing.
Yeah.
But someone that doesn't play golf, do they look at that and go, what are those numbers?
Right.
I don't know.
Yeah. I think
I thought you had this on speed dial.
I do. I'm looking at it.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
So
letting us ramble
let's
on.
see here.
Yeah.
Well, I wanted to hear what you wanted to say too. But yeah, club length,
very polite
head
of you.
size, volume, MOI, all done pre-2006. And you look at the chart, and this graphs European Tour, PGA Tour, PGA Tour measured holes, PGA Tour all drives, Japan Golf Tour, Korn Ferry, the Champions Tour, LPGA Tour, and I am completely baffled. What is LET? Would that be
That's the Ladies European
Ladies
Tour.
European?
Yeah.
Okay.
What?
So
Nailed it.
yeah. And
Not just an equipment aficionado.
there you go.
Jesus.
There you go.
Well, what would that be?
Some of these are almost flat after 06.
Yeah, I think what you're saying is it's bull crap that this report is coming out.
It is
it's
bull.
it's media hype, and it's not the equipment that is the change.
I think
it's the player.
It's the athlete. So, and my opinion on it too is if you really, I think it does make golf more exciting. If you want to watch, make the golf course harder. Narrow it up. Get the rough taller.
Yeah.
Make them hit shots. Make the greens faster.
Make hitting the fairway mean something.
Make it mean something because it doesn't mean anything right now.
That's exactly what I was saying when Dave.
5 tournaments of the year. It really, really, really means something.
Yeah, the majors.
Yeah,
plus the players, or what's the fifth one?
The players.
Okay, that's coming up.
And
at the
honestly,
end of March,
I mean, the British in a lot of instances doesn't matter because it's so dry and roached out. Yeah. It's okay.
Yeah,
but I mean,
it
depends on the course. But
they're not necessarily hitting driver over there and hitting at 300 yards. They're hitting
300 yards because it's so dry. Yeah. I mean, it just strikes a chord with me because I think it's so past its time, especially when you look at these statistics. I
think that from the standpoint of the golf course, I hear what you're saying is make the golf courses harder. I think from the golf course's standpoint, how are they supposed to do that? Because they host one tournament a year from the PGA, and they're supposed to make their golf course so hard for just the 140 players that come out once a year, and then the remainder of the year their members or public players complaining about how difficult it is and they've lost revenue. I don't know. It's a fine line.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with that. I mean, a lot of the majors, they're shutting down for a year.
Yeah.
I mean, a lot of these golf courses are, and several of the PGA Tours, there's a lot of stress on them and a lot of recovery period for them. And I don't disagree with that. I just think, I mean, just going back to this, it's like if you really wanted to do this, why didn't you look at it a lot sooner? Because a lot of these golf courses spend a lot of time and a lot of money and a lot of headache trying to figure out how they were still going to be a elite level golf course to be able to have a PGA Tour event, to be able to bring in money, to bring in money from a charitable standpoint for their community, to continue to do that, and that's a challenge. Very much so. And I don't know. I guess I'm kind of going back and forth here because, if my opinion is that they, aren't hitting it as far, that it really matters. I mean,
it's not an exorbitant gain.
Yeah.
So why is it 10 years or 10 yards in 12 years? It's less than a yard a year.
Yeah. And from a public play standpoint, the scores don't add up to anybody getting any better.
Right.
But that doesn't have to do with distance. I would say probably the biggest gains are probably in the amateur realm,
Distance-wise?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I can see how that is a concern from your daily play golf course. And, how do they make it enjoyable for people? So, because there's a lot of 63, 6,500-yard golf courses out there that a lot of people go play them in, and they're just like, man, it's just not hard enough for me.
Yeah. What happens if they regulate the PGA Tour in their equipment, but they don't regulate regular play?
I don't think this sticks. That's where I'm going. I just don't.
But that could be a possibility. So the amateur aspect of it continued to gain.
But
distance.
I mean, you could say, you can make an argument for the aluminum bat and the wooden bat.
That's what I'm saying.
Those things are there, and you got to adapt to them, and you've got to learn. I mean, same thing with guys that have gone through this whole long putter saga and not being able to use them or to unanchor it, or you're going to have to adapt. It just is what it is. But I mean, I just have a disagreement with wanting to put this in play.
I think it's hard from that. Sorry, go ahead, Dave.
I was just going to say, if they do have separate rules for the pros, it would crush the golf club industry for
it would. It crushed these companies.
Stick. Well, I'm thinking how does a golf club manufacturer, they're going to be restricted on what they can do. Well, what can they do to improve the club if it can only go so far? I know that's the challenge. The engineers will figure it out and stuff like that. But
you got to ask what amateur, the PGA Tour is thinking when their biggest sponsors are club manufacturers, and that's where they're getting their money from.
Yeah, that's
I mean, you're going to put a regulation on your biggest clients.
Yeah,
are you kidding me?
Yeah,
you want to commit business suicide here? Like, what do you want to do?
Well, just revenue wise, what would it do if the amateur, every club? I mean, it kind of even shows it in that report.
I think a lot of people get bored.
Yes, I think it's just the same. Well, it's already happening. This marketing propaganda that is happening to gain 20 yards. Clearly, that is not happening from this report.
No, it's not happening.
Yes. So it's interesting. And I can't remember if you said this I think you said this before we were on the podcast or recording, was that you really don't even need to change your driver unless it's older than 5 years. Is that right? Yeah. Because I mean, hell, that shows you that you don't even need to do it in 12 years.
The only benefit I'd say is forgiveness. We talked about that a little bit. Set up what you feel comfortable with, shapes, things like that. Those are all very important. But no. I mean, I think it really boils down to consistency and what works out best for you. If you can find that club that is new,
right?
It's definitely not. You're not going to get the next best thing just because it's out in the next 6 months.
That's amazing. When's the last time you changed? I know you have a new driver as of last year, Dave. When's the last time before that? You gonna say 2018?
No.
Okay.
Drivers in the last 2 years, I'd say I've had 3 or 4.
You've had 3 or 4 new drivers in the last 2 years?
Yeah, I think so.
Wow. Does this report make you feel like, why did I do that? Or
no, because
sorry,
like
that's not to be mean, but I'm just curious.
What's funny is for the longest time I would always chase, this has got to be the next best thing.
Right.
And Pete can tell you stories all day long about how much I talked about the old FT5 from Callaway and how it was the greatest driver ever. And I promise you, I probably haven't ever hit a driver as well as that one. But then they came out with the FT9. I'm like, I got to have it.
Right.
So I sold the FT5, got the FT9. And that was the first time in the string of things where I'm like, this club is not better for me. I don't like it. I wish I hadn't done this. And then from that point on, it was always trying to chase something that I actually liked as much. And so for the last 2 years, what I did was I bought I think it was the original Epic. It may have been, and I loved it. And I was like, you know what?
By Callaway.
Yeah, I bet the Rogue's better. So I sold the Epic and bought the Rogue. I'm like, this was a big mistake.
I feel like there's a simple change in your process. Buy the new driver first before you sell the old one.
No, you got to sell the old one before you buy the new one.
So you have the
money
cash.
for it,
Yeah.
right? I mean, they're expensive.
Yeah. No. Yeah.
Yeah.
Seriously.
So, but then what had happened was I got the Rogue. I didn't like it. And then I saw the Epic Flash. And before I even hit it, I'm like, this thing looks just like the FT5. I'm getting it. And I got it, and it was fine. I didn't love it. It didn't sound right to me. And so then I tried the M6. I'm like, this is it. And I'm probably going to stick with this one for a little while at least.
You hit that well.
Thank you.
You do hit it well.
You do hit it really
I like
well.
the sound. I like the look.
Yeah.
It feels good. It goes straight unless my swing is just off, which is more often than I care.
It's the swing,
for.
not the club.
Exactly.
Right.
But it was always just kind of chasing something that I felt comfortable with, you know, and mixed with a little bit of, hey, new's got to be better, right?
Yeah.
So, and that's just with the driver. With 3-woods, I've owned and I've built hundreds of different combinations because I just couldn't ever find anything I liked. So I'm always chasing something there. But irons, like I had a set of irons for 5 years, which is a miracle for me.
Right.
You know, I used to change those out every year when something new came out too.
But you would always sell the previous set.
Yeah, I knew a club rep, so
Yeah.
you know, it was easy for me to switch them out for a while. But
Yeah.
but
If you wait as long as I have to get new irons,
and dude,
your irons
clubs
aren't
came
worth
out in
anything.
2007.
I know. Yeah. They're not worth anything now.
They're not.
I can't
worth
use the
anything.
money to sell my irons to buy new irons
But
because
the thing is, you play one of my favorite iron sets of all time.
the best.
Like they feel so amazing.
Yes,
You
they
can't
do.
really replicate.
Daniel
that.
is giving me the dirty eye right now.
He needs some new
But-
bats.
I was gonna say you probably could benefit from some new technology.
I do.
Even with the blades, you know, the technology comes with the way they move the weight and stuff in it to make them more efficient at making the ball go.
Right.
So
Yeah, no, I definitely feel it's a disadvantage. Yeah, specifically after watching Daniel transition.
well,
Yeah. Not to a different gender. That was interesting. Yeah. Transition to new irons. Yeah.
I mean, you still hit your irons way further than I hit mine. So, you know,
Yeah, but Daniel now hits his 5-iron farther than I hit my 5-iron. But that's because it's
Daniel
a 4-iron.
hits his 9-iron further than I hit my 5-iron.
That's because it's an 8-iron.
Yeah, I mean, you
Yeah.
can't really.
They're strong.
You can't look at the
right?
next guy and say, I want to hit my ball as far as him, so I've got to change my clubs.
That's what I say every time.
That's when you start. That's when you start getting into the pattern I was. You know, boxes showing up every other day, like trying to find the next best thing. But
Yeah.
you know,
Do what you do.
Do what you do.
Do what you do.
don't go chasing what your partner's doing.
Yeah. So is that enough on this distance report? Do you have anything more to say, Daniel?
I don't think I really said a whole lot other than that I hated it.
Yeah, I think it's fine.
It wasn't a very good discussion, but on my standpoint.
What do you guys think about the golf ball? Like, you know, Jack's
I
big
was
thing
curious.
isn't
Yeah.
Jack's big thing isn't the clubs and the distance
We've
from the
talked
clubs.
about
his
this in the
thing
past,
is,
and I don't even remember what we said, to be honest.
I think what I said is, and
I said I think I said the golf ball, didn't I? No, I didn't.
we said when we talked about regulating, what would we regulate? And we came up, both
Golf
said
ball.
the golf ball.
Yeah.
But here's how I will answer Dave's question is I don't know enough about the golf ball to really have a fair discussion about it because I don't know. I just don't know enough to what would you change? What would you regulate? What are you measuring?
Right.
How much of it is the club versus the ball? I don't know enough
because, you know,
to have that discussion.
Yeah, because with most major sports, you know, the ball is the one thing that's consistent for every team or every player, right?
Right.
In tennis, every player uses the same ball. Baseball,
Yeah.
allegedly all the baseballs are the same. Football, they might be a little
Allegedly
deflated, they might be
yeah.
overinflated, but it's
We
the
don't
same ball.
know.
Except for
Right.
the kickers, they have their own ball.
Mm-hmm.
Basketball, everything's the same ball. You know, would it be weird if all the golfers used the same ball but different equipment?
See, I don't know if I can speak too much of it. I mean, I think that makes sense that the ball would be the thing regulated. The problem is there's so many balls out there, and there is a testing platform for how far they go.
Right.
Right.
So to some degree they are regulated.
There's a limit.
Right.
There's a limit on the size. I'm sure there's some dimple regulations on it.
I think just depth on the dimples.
Yeah.
Right.
So it's tough to say. I mean, technology moves so quickly. Who knows what the cores are going to be like? What's that going to do? But they're still going to have a cap. And as far as, really it ultimately comes down to the spin and what you want.
Yeah.
And that can be done a couple different ways. And I think the ball has the biggest impact up front. You can only do so much with the head. But then again, they work so much in tune with each other. I just don't see if it's regulated to an extent of distance, why you need to mess with that.
Right,
a lot of players out there right now, they want more spin on that ball to have more control. They're not looking to hit something that is super hard that's going to max out their distance.
Right.
So that's to me, it's kind of a moot point just because of that. You talk with, a lot of the guys, Pro V1, Pro V1X, spin, non-spin. A lot of the guys are going to more of a spinning ball.
I think that's in the fact because the balls, it's low spin was such a thing for so long. No spin, no spin, no spin. And so they shifted so far in the spectrum of spin versus no spin to now it's kind of, well, I need some spin. I don't need no spin.
Yeah, I mean, I think a lot of people started to realize that the knuckleball doesn't stay in the air long enough, right?
Yeah. What?
But yeah, I mean, they work hand in hand.
Right.
So if you got a cap on distance, I still think that's another thing that cripples the manufacturer. There's so many people other than Titleist making golf balls now, and it's a big revenue generator for them. Everybody knows there's not a lot of margin in golf balls when you're buying them from, a golf shop or a retail store. You don't make your money on golf balls, but the manufacturer does.
Right.
I think that would be a really good discussion. Another good episode is just talking about the golf ball, not in the context of regulating it, but all the manufacturers that are out there, all the people who have eliminated the middleman. I'm trying to think of the brands.
Like Vice.
Yes, thank you.
Yeah.
Vice and their Encore or whatever. There's a new one.
Yeah, I mean, it's a good business plan. It's just kind of like the shaving blades.
Yeah,
it really is.
Yeah,
it's the same platform for all of that. It's like, hey, we'll go direct to you, and you won't have to, have to pay someone else to, have them.
It's like this podcast.
Yeah.
It
goes direct to you, and you get to hear us talk about hot dogs.
Yeah.
You
really hung up on
missed
that.
the chicken parmesan sandwich.
Yeah.
Was it good?
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Maybe he didn't. He won't.
Maybe
because he'll listen to this episode.
I wouldn't have had a hot dog out in the hallway.
Or was it a brat with mustard?
Yeah. Where did you go?
Yeah.
It's interesting.
I think, and not to drag this on even further, but if you have the pros play something different than the amateurs, it would just make the weekly on-tour testing an absolute nightmare, I think. Just because if a manufacturer is making two, and they kind of are to a degree already making two separate types of heads, like one that they give to their pros and ones that they just mass produce. But I think if they try to limit it even more, I think it would make that testing even more of a nightmare. You've already heard, I can't remember if it was early this year or late last year, somebody getting busted for having an illegal driver because it was a little too hot, right?
Right.
I think that it would make that process just even more crazy and cumbersome, and I don't know.
But I think it would also affect the amateur golf community thinking, now they've got to take a driver that is molded up to a ball that the pros play, and they think they should hit that driver. The marketing is going to be totally thrown off.
It'd be a nightmare.
Just kill everything.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. But that could be to their advantage. They could charge more for they already do that. Here's the tour preferred version of the club. Oh, I want that. because I'm a tour player.
They haven't done Tour Preferred for quite some
I'm
time.
just using that as an example. You know what also
Back when
happened
you
to
last bought irons.
back when Daniel played 4 years ago when number one was different at Sycamore Ridge.
The hot dogs were really good at that time.
They haven't wavered.
No, they were
in
good
quality.
still. We
Yeah.
had it when you were gone. We had this discussion.
Oh, okay.
That the food out there at Sycamore is really good.
It is really good.
Yeah. Did you see did you go in the bar?
I did.
Did you see the chalkboards up
Yeah.
top?
Yeah.
That's good.
It is good.
I thought that was good. Yeah.
Yeah.
When I was there today, they were talking about.
I love that place.
Yeah, it's great.
I do.
So good. I just kind of got verklempt there a little bit. Talk amongst yourself. I'm
gonna go boil a hot dog.
I literally
Don't-
just had a
Don't
moment.
boil it.
Yeah,
Come
that's
on.
disgusting. Yeah.
You
Why
boil
would
hot
you boil?
dogs?
Yeah.
No, I'm joking.
That's why you don't like hot dogs.
No.
Is you're boiling them. Yeah. This is the best episode that we've done. Seriously.
Lobotomy.
Well. All right. Are we done? Do we have anything else?
Take us out.
Take us out?
Take us out.
Okay.
So we can go have a hot dog.
Yeah, we got some hot dogs cooking. Thanks again to everyone who listens. Thanks to Senior View for letting us use their studio and their recording equipment. And thanks to Sycamore Ridge for being a great sponsor and allowing us to produce this podcast. And if you haven't played Sycamore, go out there and play it. It's a beautiful golf course. Like Daniel said at the top of this podcast, bent greens, bent fairways, and bent tee boxes.
And have a hot dog on the turn.
And have a hot dog, great hot dog at the turn.
Have a hot dog during men's league.
Have
Join
a
us.
have a hot dog anytime out there. You don't have to be playing golf. It's a great hot dog. But be
true.
sure, yeah, be
Lots
sure
of
to,
people go there just for lunch.
yeah, let's do that.
It's a thing
Yeah, at a golf course
at a golf
at
course.
Sycamore Ridge. It's
It's-
a lunch. Let's start a lunch league at Sycamore Ridge.
All right.
It's kind of a drive for me, but that's fine.
It's kind of a drive for me
Yeah.
too, but it's worth it.
It's totally all right. So if you like this episode, be sure to leave us a review, or if you like this podcast, be sure to leave us a review, and also maybe comment about where you've had your favorite hot dog on this episode, because that would be awesome. But any of you guys got anything else? Closing words? Closing remarks?
I'm speechless.
I bet. Dave, thanks for joining us. Yeah.
Thanks, Dave.
I almost said have a great evening. Like we're hanging up the phone and I'm not going to see you. Yeah.
Have a good hot dog, Dave.
Yeah, have a great it was
Can't
great
wait.
talking to you. Yeah. But yeah, be sure to like, subscribe this podcast. You can find it on all podcast networks. Thanks for listening.